Sorry about that. I thought I'd finish my snack before I'd, start stream. I think I tore the inside of my mouth open because I was absolutely fucking crunching down on some crisps. To the point that I think I might have stabbed the inside of my mouth several times. Hey, Jack Plays. Long time no see. How you doing? Anyways, today I wanted to do some final shape theory crafting. I'm good, how are you? I'm not doing too bad. Except for the fact that I know I don't taste blood yet, but my gums hurt. 8 crisps at too high of a speed. Today I just wanted to hang out, chat a little bit, and theory craft some final shape builds. So I have right here, I have a whole bunch of tabs with stuff about final shape. Now, this is the only warning you're gonna get. There will be an absolute metric fuckload of spoilers. Like, for the kind of equipment that's going to be available. Never knew you played Destiny. Guess that's what happens when I miss like 2 years of streams. Let me open up the email I got from Bungie. Right. Copy the link. That doesn't work. Cool. I'm not gonna show my actual inbox, but I started playing in Defiance, so just a little more than a year now. Get Godslayer yet? No. I didn't have that much time for Pantheon. I also didn't have a group. I only found a group I could have done it with, like, 3 days ago. Because all of the friends I tend to play this game with are on break. I did, we didn't actually end up finishing it, but I did help with Planet Man yesterday. We need to play together? Maybe. My Bungie ID is right here, I think. If you want it. But yeah, the plan for today was to do some final shape theory crafting. I have not thought how I'm going to write it down yet. I also don't know, can I, by chance, recolor this to all be black? And then use white letters instead. Because this should be less... This should be less painful for the, for the dark mode users. But yeah, the intention is to just go through the stuff that we at least publicly know. I have not listened or heard anything about the collection spoilers that people got access to from doing some PlayStation stuff. And I just want to take a look at the stuff classes get, including the exotic class items, and just like tinker a little in advance. Because if we can plan everything out, then on the day Final Shape releases, I can just chuck them into Dim, we can start printing the loadouts out and do the campaign with them. We are probably going to be doing mostly Warlock. The idea behind doing mostly Warlock is, yeah, I have played practically only Warlock, and I have a Legend Day 1 campaign group two friends, a Hunter main and a Titan main. So I'm going to be the Warlock. Originally had plans for what I wanted to do with it. But, and this is legit the final time I'm gonna say, spoiler warning, we're going to be looking at, like, prismatic subclass stuff. We're going to be looking at the stuff each class gets. And we're gonna imagine we can build with it. Alright. Sadly enough, Warlock does not get access to Chaos Accelerant. And I was actually really looking forth to trying to do something with Controverse holds on Prismatic, because I thought originally Prismatic Lock got Chaos Accelerant, but turns out they get Feed the Void. Which, generally, I'd like to say, generally, that is way better. However, still a bit bummed out. Then yet again, my entire idea was to use Magnetic Grenade with Chaos Accelerant, because it's getting buffed. We can't use that synergy on Prismatic Lock, because we're missing both the Magnetic Grenade and the Chaos Accelerant. So far for that. But yeah, we have the 3 loadout setups right here. I'm really tempted to write a couple things down with the new stuff we're gonna get. One minor problem is, before I started stream, I was on the loo, watching a YouTube video that describes the final shape aspects, because I haven't looked into those yet. So you're gonna have to give me a moment, because I think I need to read these still. Like, I know it's Helion, Unbroken, and Ascension. And then these supers. The supers I know a decent bit about. I haven't read up on them too much. Man, white page really do be brightening up my day. Go dark, thanks. Let's see. So, activating class ability creates a solar soul that shoots enemies. Solar warlocks also gain the Song of Flame. Okay. So, class ability gives Solar Soul. I also need prismatic fragments. I also need a list of these. Is that in here? Oh! Oh, this was the deep dive table I was looking for earlier. Nah, the other visual guide is probably better. And here is the fragments. That is awesome, thanks. So, consuming a grenade creates a shield that absorbs damage. Guardians can release the shield to do damage to enemies. I don't know how this is gonna work. Is this gonna count as an overshield? If it is a void overshield, then it's really fucking strong. Because Titan has a perk that allows them to get, what, like 400% regen speed on their grenade while having an overshield. I think it's a literal shield. Yeah, that would make sense. Bastion Bulwark. I wasn't actually using Bastion. So, let's go to Titan, because it's one of the builds I want to update the most. I've been using a good bit of Void Titan in Onslaught. It's just a simple little build, with... This is on Strand, but it jumbled the weapons. It's a simple little build with Hoyle, and Rossarago with Repulsor Brace, and abusing that. I thought I had, just to be safe... 1 second, let me grab this, because someone on a Discord server I'm in pasted it. I followed the suggestion of removing all the spec mods from weapons in case they break on day 1. Turns out these weapons still have them. It's probably because I equipped a loadout. I swear they showed gameplay of it before I could be waffling. Solar Titan with Bonk Hammer plus Synthos is godly for a lot of stuff. I would not be surprised. Generally, I just want to take a quick look at what kind of stuff is Titan getting. That would mean that this build could be improved. Because, for example, I'm really looking forward to taking off the Sentinel Shield off of this and chucking on Twilight Arsenal. Because I've heard Twilight Arsenal is going to be pretty good. But here, I'm using Controlled Demolition and Offensive Bulwark. Bastion was just kind of eh. Like, the entire build is like Controlled Demolition, you get volatile rounds from Echo of Instability, which then feeds back into Repulsor Brace, and then we use scanner grenades for burst single target damage or small crowd control to get said volatile rounds to recycle these two. And then this is here for additional ability cycling, because you can cycle the Rally Barricade with its short cooldown and the Shoulder Charge back into this grenade. It's actually pretty goddamn good. I found out it's pretty strong. So Titan will have to probably run Bubble if someone doesn't. They're removing Weapons of Light from base Bubble. Bubble is going to be purely defensive unless you're wearing Mask of Saint. They're moving Weapons of Light to Mask of Saint. Also, they're not removing the damage bonus from Well. Well is going to give less survivability and give you Radiant. So it's going, like, you're going to be effective outside of the Well too. That's what they're changing. So Well is getting nerfed in some way, but getting buffed in another, and Bubble is just straight up losing the damage boost. Unless you're wearing Saint, but I don't know, I don't really care about that helmet, I'll be honest with you. So on this build, I wanna throw on Twilight Arsenal. Master Crowd, I'm tired. I wanna try Master Crowd at some point, but I don't think I don't think I'll have the time right now, and I don't think I can necessarily farm it as soon as the new raid comes out, because then that new raid is going to be farmable, and I still need a whole bunch of guns from it. I want the crafted machine gun, I want crafted swordbreaker if I can, and Word of Crota, the hand cannon, seems really interesting in some regards. I've slowly been using a little bit more hand cannons recently. I hopped in a week for Planet Man yesterday to help them out, and I used, where is it? I used a Midnight Coup roll I got. I have this Kinetic Tremors Firefly roll that I'm really liking. Doing Final Shape raid on contest mode, yes. I don't know if you're in the Discord, but let me show you real quick. I actually did post an announcement on this earlier today, where basically, TLDR, I'm going to be streaming primarily Dutch for the first time in years. I think like 6 years, if not longer. And that is because I'm doing the contest mode raid with a completely Dutch team, and to them it's significantly more taxing energy-wise to be speaking English the entire damn day. So I'm going to be pushed to muting in English every once in a while, but I will be primarily speaking Dutch for that stream. Just to increase the longevity of my teammates. And we've actually been, we've been prepping a good bit. We've had some of the, we have one lesser experienced friend who doesn't have the most equipment. We've been gearing him up. And I knew someone said recently, and I still need to go get that next week, 2 burst revision 0 with the 20% pulse rifle buff is going to be really, really good for primary DPS, so I'm very much interested to get that because it's one of my favorite guns in the game. Alright, so Void Titan's gonna be fun and all. Let's start with Prismo Warlock, because I want to see if we can cook something that is going to hopefully be usable in and around the campaign. So I'll be doing Legend campaign with 2 friends. We don't have access to Child of the Old Gods, which means we can't go. Nah, you also don't have Arc Soul. I was gonna think like, what if we do NTTE with Solar Soul, Child of the Old Gods, and Arc Soul? But that seems like an absolute mess. So maybe not. I am okay. I was thinking something the other day, and I still have that idea. And it's an absolutely terrible idea. Like, holy guacamole, it's a terrible idea. But I want to see if I can make it work. So, let's, this is the exotic weapons and armor, exotic item perks, prismatic deep dive. This is the fragments. Let me very quickly take a quick look at these because I haven't fully read through them. The idea I'm going at is, if we look in collections real quick, and this is probably the most niche thing you would not know, but Winter Sky, not only is it kinda poop, it has synergy with Penumbral Blast. And I've tried this on Stasis. It's clunky, but you can make it work. The reason it's clunky, though, is because it doesn't have enough recov. Like, you can't sustain yourself. So, what I eventually want to do is have Feed the Void with Penumbral Blast, and then probably Needlestone for single target. Either that or Song of Flame, because Song of Flame is going to be pretty ridiculous. And then, I don't know, like, Storm Grenade to kill something, to proc Feed the Void. And then just, like, go ham with the glaive. Like, what glaives do we have? We have, Vexcalibur? I don't even have the Warlock glaive crafted. It's probably because it's ass. Either Vexcalibur or Winterbite, probably. I'll have to quickly check. Weapons. Glaives. Yeah, that might have to be it. Oh, that's from the Dawning. Okay. I've had an Adept Lubres? Huh. Yeah, I think it'll have to be an exotic glaive, because the rest is just kind of ass. I have the feeling Winterbite could be really funny, also because it applies... Where is it? Yeah, this weapon's melee attacks deal increased damage and slow targets when loaded with ammo. So, that is interesting, because it also slows targets. So this can do practically any champion if you really need it to. Barriers are going to be a little annoying. Is there a way I can get Radiant? Because this doesn't come with any intrinsic... I don't think this comes with any intrinsic... Yeah, because this comes with intrinsic unstop. This doesn't. So if you want, you can make yourself Radiant. It applies slow, you can easily freeze for unstops, and then if you can get Radiant, you get a damage boost, and you can pop barriers. Technically that's overload because it's slow, yes, but that doesn't mean that I can't get Radiant with this. I did find out one quirky thing, and that is that Wave Splitter, this, which doesn't come with anything intrinsic, cannot get volatile rounds, because it can get sustained damage suppress. And that's really annoying. Because I was trying to give it volatile rounds on Gear Falcons, and I was nutted. I actually crafted one of these adhorative, because incandescent heal clip seems really good. We might be able to try that out in a moment. But, okay, rapidly defeating targets with light damage grants melee energy. Is the music quiet enough, by the way? Because to me it's quite loud, but that's because my audio settings are fucked. Rapidly defeating targets with light damage grants melee energy. Rapidly defeating targets with dark grants grenade. Ooh. It might work like conditional Fernando, because I don't think conditional can get anti-barrier, because it shoots both unstopped stuns. Could be wrong though, music's fine as well. Okay. I mean, we can try it out with conditional. That's not necessarily a problem. We can give it a quick shot. Come on, move. Set equip, damn it. Okay, so let me grab Solar Warlock real quick. I'm gonna do this very cringe, because I don't want to be using loadouts right now. This should have torches. It does. So let's just go into some random fuck, that vaulted it. Shit. Here we go. There we go. Okay, let's just go into a random area real quick and proc Radiant. And then, EDZ probably. Go here. See if it gets the anti-barrier thing from Radiant on the HUD. Because if so, that means that, yeah, you can do funky stuff with this. And otherwise, we'll just need to use a Radiant effective gun. Then yet again, the problem with glaives is, if we're gonna go for the Radiant unpowered melee, you're gonna have to swap off of it, use Penumbral Blast, and then swap back, which is annoying. Though technically Penumbral Blast also immediately shatters, so that's unstop. Hello, Herazer, how's it going? Okay, let's look for like some random cabal real quick. Ah, there they come. There's some of these guys. Hold on. It does not get it. Well, shit. Would you look at that? That's a whole bunch of unfortunate. So, yeah, you're right, Jack. Turns out we cannot give this thing anti-barrier from Radiant. That is properly annoying. How do you... So we have Unstop. So this is Arc Jolt, Stasis Slow, Void Suppression. You could always end up saying, alright, instead of Winter Bite, you go into Vexcalibur, and you use Jolt to do Overload, and you Radiant up the Vexcalibur. That might be an option. I need to clean out these priming rooms. Anyway, I should read through this. So, defeating targets with dark damage grants grenade energy. If I'm going to be using Winterbite, Facet of Balance is probably going to be a pick because... hold on, I could probably zoom in a little more. Oh, God. Gotta bounce and go take a uni exam. It was fun being able to pop into stream once again. Have a good one. Hell yeah, have a nice one. Oh god, the chat overlays it just about. Here we go. That's gonna have to work. So Facet of Balance is probably a pick if we're going. Does Glaive melee count as powered melee? Or dark damage? It's Winterbite's stasis. Like, Winterbite is stasis. So you'd imagine it'd be able to count as... Or at least it would count as dark damage, right? Defeating targets with grenades grant volatile rounds to your void weapons. Defeating targets with powered melee final blows grant unraveling rounds to your strand weapons. Hold on, I need to read up on what unravel was again. Was that bonus weakness? This doesn't have anything to do with unravel. Why are you screaming? Oh, because that's why. Suspended. Where is unravel? Sever is outgoing damage reduction. Unraveling rounds. They take additional damage. They create unraveled projectiles that seek out nearby targets. Rounds from your strand weapons pair the shields of barrier champions and stun them. So this is a way to... Okay, so volatile rounds and unraveling rounds are both anti-barrier. Defeating the... Okay, so... Unraveling rounds sounds really cool. Volatile rounds in a way sounds really cool too. I'm wondering if I'm gonna be able to cook with that. Okay, so this is a starting thing. Powered melee hits against targets make you radiant. Power melee final blows make both you and allies radiant. Okay, so Facet of Dawn is the radiant one. Finishes create a detonation that either jolts, scorches, slows, severs, or makes targets volatile based on the damage type of your equipped super. Your void grenades weaken, your arc grenades jolt. Okay. Defeating targets while transcendent creates orbs of power for your allies. That makes sense. Damaging targets with kinetic weapons grants you bonus transcendence energy. Defeating targets with your super grants you and nearby allies bonus transcendence energy. So, I do think I want to make some form of transcendence setup. Probably with Song of Flame. While you have an elemental buff, your class ability regenerates more quickly. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, that might be really fun. So, Song of Flame with buffing Transcendence, then some kind of kinetic weapon. We'll have to figure out what exactly. With this, Facet of Hope, which regenerates class ability faster, we can loop that into Helion using Phoenix Dive to give us little Solar Buddy to, I don't know, blow shit up. And then hopefully have the Freezing Singularity up a whole bunch. And, like, I don't know, spam Storm Grenades? Lightning Surge is the slide melee, right? Do I have any cool synergies for that? Is there any cool Warlock synergies for slide melee? Arc ability or Jolt final blows restore arc abilities. So this is purely arc abilities. That's going to not work then. Void kills increase ability regen. That would have to be the Vortex Nade, probably. Transcendent Grenade. Like the Freezing Singularity. And then weapons. Maybe, I don't know if Nezarec's Sin is procced off of... Is this procced off of Volatile? Void kills. Doesn't say anything about it. While Transcendence, your ability final blows explode. That feels like overdoing it. While surrounded by enemies, you are more resistant to incoming damage. That's probably going to be pretty good. Picking up an Orb of Power grants you either Amplified, Restoration, Frost Armor, Woven Mail, or Overshield based on the damage type of your equipped super. Oh. Amplified might be alright. I just see Woven Mail and Overshield. I see Woven Mail and Overshield and I'm happy. Oh yeah, I remember. Triton Vice is getting a buff, and with Stylish Execution you can actually do something very silly. Hello, okay, I do not have water on me, I need to go get that. With Stylish Executioner and Winterbite, you can actually do something very silly, probably. I think that's something we should... I think we should leave the Glaive idea in the Dust Room on, and go for Stylish Executioner on Prismo Hunter instead. Size and damage are the best when you shatter 6 crystal or frozen targets, and increases the size of solar ignitions. This seems kind of... Damage and burst when you shatter a stasis crystal frozen target. I mean, you do get Cold Snap, you get Penumbral. You do miss out on the Seekers, though. You do miss out on Ice Flare Bolts, which is one of the main reasons it's so good. This is a PvP setup, by the way, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, it's a PvP setup. Like, I would be running Glacial Harvest or Bleak Watcher. Though, yet again, personally, I'm not that big of a fan of Bleak Watcher. One of the things that would be very interesting to me is Arcane Needle with Lightning Surge. Because I'm a big fan of the slide melee. Arcane Needle, Lightning Surge, potentially with a Phoenix Dive. And then Feed the Void. I don't know if that is going to be rewritten. That's probably just, like... Defeat a target with a Void ability to activate Devour. So I'd need a Void ability. It would have to be Vortex Grenade then. Or do I take Nova Bomb Cataclysm? And then take Facet of Purpose. Combine it with... where is it? Heavy-Handed. So that every melee kill generates an Orb of Power, which gives me an Overshield. I don't know. Could be good. Do I just... Do we just start out with a Lightning Surge Arcane Needle thing? Because the slide melee is cool as fuck. You could also go for Woven Mail. But is there a way I might be able to generate... Because if you're doing slide melee, you're probably going to want to have like a Darkness Primary. Which means it's most likely going to be worth it to run something the likes of Quicksilver, probably still. Purely for the sole reason that you're going to want to compensate for all the light damage you're doing. I don't necessarily want to plink away, though I do still need to get the Catalyst. I might do that tonight. Because if I'm not mistaken, the Catalyst gives Headstone, which is pretty good. Huh. I'm interested in Arcane Needle Lightning Surge. Bit disappointed by Weaver's Call. Because, not gonna lie, Weaver's Call is just kind of disappointing to me most of the time. It synergizes okay with Weave Walk, though at sometimes I'm very tempted to, instead of Weave Walk, run like Mind Spun. Yeah, probably passing out on Weaver's Call. Helion might be funny. Feed the Void. The annoying part with Feed the Void is really good. It's leveled up in leveled up Devour. Problem is, the only way you're gonna be able to proc it is fucking Vortex Grenade or Nova Bomb Cataclysm. And I'm much more of a Nova Bomb Vortex guy. So I don't know if I can get this to work, because I've basically only been using Vortex for a year now. So it might just have to be Lightning Surge Helion. And let me very quickly compare the cooldown of Phoenix Dive. 55. It's actually shorter, wow. So it might be Helion, Phoenix Dive, Lightning Surge, Arcane Needle. Probably combine that with Needle Storm, because you'll want some form of you'll want some form of single target. Which will give Woven Mail, which is damage reduction. Then Healing Grenade, probably? Go in that direction? Honestly, kind of interested. Can I rename this column? Probably not. I have not used Excel for anything in a hot minute, so you're gonna have to give me a moment. Grenade. Melee, and then what else? Class ability, movement. Alright. Oh, you can't see this, great. Can I move this down then? I said, can I move? I wanna move this. Hello? Please? Thanks. There we go. Alright, so for the first idea, we would be... not doing that. I want to do this. Something like that. Extend. Thanks. So this is Arc Lock Slide Melee. And then we'd be going for Needle. Needle Storm. Combine that with Lightning Surge and Helion. I would like, if possible. Nope, goddammit. Can I not add another line here, like a -N? I'd like to be able to. Oh god. Okay. Guess it'll have to be. Helion, combine that with Phoenix Dive, and I don't remember how to spell Phoenix. Kind of embarrassing, honestly. With class ability... oh, this is the class ability, oops. Oh, god damn it. Why can't I spell? Arcane Needle. Of course, makes sense. We're doing an Arcane Needle build. That's the whole idea. And then for the grenade, we're using healing. I mean, and then for movement, I mean, you just stick with Burst Glide, right? Because Burst Glide is king, still. I like having access to Blink, and that does spice things up a little, because we do have Astrocytes first at the game. Which is a significant improvement to Blink. Blink further and more frequently, causing targets near you to become volatile. Weapons ready quickly out of Blink, and radar remains up. While Nova Warp Super... okay, so the entire Nova Warp Super part is not going to be important. Most of the time, you also, in PvE, don't want to use Nova Warp, even though I kind of do when I run this. And moderate benefit to airborne effectiveness, but it's mostly just blink gets better and shit becomes volatile. So, talking about volatile, quickly see volatile. The target is afflicted with unstable void energy and will explode upon taking additional damage. And then void weapons pierce the shield of barrier champions. Okay, so volatile rounds. Is there anything related to pickups in here? Because that might actually influence it. I would much rather be creating void breaches than I would be... Void breaches or ionic traces, probably. Than I would be making fire sprites or tangles or even stasis shards. So, is there a way to do that? Probably want to spec into Transcendence because it accelerates ability regen speed, which is going to be very funny. Damaging targets and kinetic weapons. While you have an elemental buff, class ability regens more quickly. Okay, so I don't know how many fragments we're going to get. And how many aspects do you get? Like, I'm building this as if I have 2 aspect slots. But what if I have 3? At that point, it doesn't get particularly ridiculous, honestly. It means that, I probably run Feed the Void, because I don't have another option. I mean, maybe Bleak Watcher could be okay. I don't have any... I don't plan on using any... Yeah, Bleak Watcher would be more beneficial. Because... Weaver's Call specifically states Rift. And we're going to be running Phoenix Dive because of the reduced cooldown and... well, faster casting time, also granting us health instantly, and then giving us the Solar Buddy. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna have to be Bleak Watcher then. Destiny 2 Final Shape, Prismatic, Aspect slots. Let's quickly look this up. So, load page, please. I'm aware. Can we block this notification? Bye. I very much know that it's going to be offline tomorrow. Alright, so. Here we can see. We have Transcendence. Cool. Looks like slots to change things, but that might be introduced at a later point in time. We're gonna have to look at if we can even start with this loadout. We probably can. Yeah, because this looks like it supplies more fragment slots than it does usually. So, you start with Nova Bomb Catacomb. You don't actually start with Needlestorm. Shit. There goes Arcane Needle. Arcane Needle Lightning Surge isn't what you're starting with. Really? You're just getting Stasis Warlock? Or Voidlock? Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Looks like we're doing Osmiomancy to start off with. Yeah, because Penumbral Blast, I would much rather take that over Pocket Singularity. Cold Snaps with Osmiomancies are really good. Probably take Bleak Watcher, and then take Nova Bomb Cataclysm with Feed the Void to get Devour. Oh, great. Hooray. God damn it. I'm not particularly happy with this. I'd hope to get Lightning Surge, Arcane Needle, but turns out you don't. I'm going to assume we get 5 fragment slots. Also, Bungie, I love that you've made this preview, but why the fuck do you have 6 recov? 39 discipline? Bungie, these stats aren't great. I can show you like several quadrillion builds with better stats. That they look drippy, but holy fuck, the stats are bad. Okay, so we're going to assume that we have 5 fragments. So we can have 5 fragments. Then, let's just keep going with this for a moment. So for the fragments, we will at least want, we will want Facet of Purpose, probably, because we want to be able to get the Woven Mail. It allows us to rush in without getting punished as badly. Probably Protection too, because it's even more damage resistant. And Hope. So that's 3 down. Dominance is useless. Generosity is really interesting. And so is Grace. I mean, mostly Generosity. The thing with Generosity is that this is going to be really, really good when running a 3-man Legend campaign. Because you want to absolutely crank Transcendence one after another and just cycle it. Powered melee hits against targets make you Radiant. Okay, so probably Facet of Dawn. Because that is a nice 25% damage increase to all weapons. Defeating targets with grenades grants volatile round, and defeating targets with powered melee grant final powered melee final blows grant unraveling rounds these strand weapons. So rapidly defeating targets with light damage grants melee energy. Now the reason why this is good is because we're going to be doing arc damage off of our darkness melee. This is going to become the, like, we're using Arcane Needle because we get 3 charges of it. Then Exotic Armor. Can I not go further to the right? I can. And then weapons. Cool. This is so scuffed. This is so giga scuffed. Let me move this down a little further. I move this a little to the left. Oh, that completely fucked it. Oh, that completely fucked it. Oh, that completely fucked it. I don't know. Move it down. There we go. We're just gluing this, and I'll fix it later. So we have 1 more fragment slot to go. I think, guaranteed, I want balance. And then I'm very tempted to get the powered melee grants unraveling rounds to strand weapons. Because we can glue that on a strand type... on a strand type weapon. And we can try to compensate for our ridiculous amount of light damage for our Transcendence. So I'm genuinely thinking we take Quicksilver Storm with a Catalyst, which makes it strand damage. And that with Unraveling Rounds is probably still going to be able to deal a lot of damage, even though Quicksilver's been nerfed. Otherwise, might be worth getting a Scatter Signal, but I have the feeling Quicksilver is going to be better generally. So, it also gives anti-barrier, but I'm not sure. Are there champions in Legend Campaign? Let's check real quick. No, it's shields. Even on higher levels? Nope, it's shields. Alright. So we don't particularly care. So I write down specifically the catalyst part because Quicksilver is a different damage type without the catalyst. Then check, double check. Facet Dawn for sure. We also want Bravery, right? The issue here is I cannot assume that I'm going to have more than 5 fragment slots. I can probably assume that at some point, if I do end up picking an aspect that does give 1 fragment slot instead of 2, and most of the game uses 2 fragment slots, I'm going to have a problem. So I'm very much interested in Generosity as well. I wonder if Generosity has an internal cooldown. It probably does. I'm going to write this down as team. And then, do I really need double damage resistance? The woven mail part seems pretty crucial. But I'm wondering if Facet of Protection is better. Like, if things live after the slide melee, I don't want to die instantly. And if things don't live, I get Woven Mail to protect myself from long-range enemies. But it's not going to be worth it. I think I might just cut Purpose and say this is going to be the default thing, and then Generosity in a team scenario. So we want Quicksilver, then we're going to want a form special. We want a non-exotic special. So probably are just off best using Indebted Kindness. Because Indebted Kindness is still ridiculous. And does a good amount of damage. Indebted Kindness. Then, lastly, we need a non-exotic power weapon. I'm actually very tempted to throw on Edge Transit. Because it's got really good total damage. And then for exotic armor, we have, I don't know, we're gonna get something synergized with Arcane Needles if we want to. Okay, so for Warlock, we have, I don't know, fucking Healing Turret, no thanks. Yeah, it's suspending detonation when defeated, but I want to be using this mostly on slide melee. Doesn't this, by default, also apply Unravel? Yeah, it does. Okay, so we could also go for something to do with the melee. Improves Ionic Traces, but we cannot guarantee that we're going to get Ionic Traces. because I don't see it in there. Melees cause damage over time. Could be interesting. Necrotic Grip has always been notoriously good on Strand, because it synergizes really well with Suspend and Osteostriga, but also Arcane Needle's a long-range melee, so this could work. I'll write it down. Necrotic Grips. Then, that is Enhanced Scatter Grenades. What does this do again? Get an additional Scatter Grenade charge. Enables tracking for Scatter Grenade projectile. Hold on. Now I'm interested. Wasn't Scatter Grenades one of the things that can be boosted by Chaos Accelerant? Has some munitions tracked to nearby targets. So, Chaos Accelerant is poop. I mean, I already knew this. I knew Chaos Accelerant isn't great. Unless you're playing Controverse, which happens to be my favorite build. Yeah, really Vortition is the only good one, but I'm really interested in doing something with Magnetic Grenade as well. Bit bummed out Voidlock doesn't get a little more love, but I mean, maybe one day. Hopefully, like, honestly, I really hope that the next expansion they bring out, it's just going to be, like, a cool story and a whole bunch of additional updates to existing classes. Or, I don't know, just another Darkness subclass could be cool, too. Okay, back to checking all of these. So, Osmiomancy gloves. We're already doing something else with that. Shockwave deals extra damage and buffs allies. Vesper rifts. Nope, that's rift. That's rift. Nope. Nope. Maybe Storm Dancer's Brace could be interesting in some other build. But this is pure Storm Trance. It makes it kind of eh. Elemental Weapon Takedowns. There's nothing really in here that I want. Which means, because there's nothing particularly in here that I want, we're going to be looking at... Where is it? Exotic class item. Downside. RNG drop. Upside. Could be really funny. Finishes and powered melee final blows grant invisibility. This is really funny because we want to be doing powered melee final blows. But increased ability regen is also pretty decent. Considering Phoenix Dive and Healing Grenade are probably going to be cycled a lot, we're going to get significant ability regen back into the melee. Don't care about this, even though Devour is really cool. And I wish I had it. Could actually. But that would mean... That would mean I would have to run a non-exotic kinetic weapon. Primary 2. I'm contemplating running the Bloodline. I'm really liking this Midnight Coup. Because I could do this with the Bloodline. And that would give Devour. And that, together with Feed the Void, isn't actually that bad. Because Feed the Void empowers Devour. Check DMs. Just give me 1 second. Devour effects are improved, restoring additional health and grenade energy. Yeah. That's not bad. on, Face. I need to give you some context. Give me a second. I have the original joke. Somewhat original joke. Anyways, how you doing? Hope you've been well. I'm doing okay. You know, I'm happy to hear that it's okay and it's not bad. Small mental breakdown, but you know, I have a solution to your small mental breakdown. Gotta throw it back to sexual style for the pal. You don't gotta. You don't have to. You shouldn't force yourself to behave in a way just because others expect you to behave that way. Also, I've got Finn right here. Hope that helps. Look, it's a little guy. He's on my desk. Same with my sheep. I actually don't know the sheep in the corner. Hold on, I need to fix that. Random ass laptop charging cable. Sheep jump scare. We gotta give me the autism lore dump still. Yeah, that's true. I did tell you I would do that. Yeah. There we go. Much better. You can't really see them, huh? Can't be bothered to put a light on them. Sunday moment. I just got flashbacks to a character we would need to discuss in the autism lore video. Yeah, I only just now thought of the buried bloodline angle. Because if you do buried bloodline, you're probably going to want to exchange Helion for Feed the Void and take a better grenade in Storm Grenade. Or Vortex. Actually, Vortex would be the play then. Let's just take this out because it's more than 5. If I want to swap that out, I want to swap that out. What we're currently doing, Fazy, is we're looking at another nerd game I play. And we're basically looking at publicly revealed data about the upcoming expansion next Tuesday. That, and we're preparing some loadouts that could be cool. There we go. Yeah, because I'm interested in this, right? Exotic class item. The annoying part with the exotic class item is probably I'm going to be able to get the roll I want. So I might just stick to necrotic grips. Because it's still, like, melee, poison everything. Could cause it to be a significant explosion, which is really cool. Yeah, here, necrotic grips. Damaging combatants with your melee poisons them, defeating a poisoned enemy spreads the condition. So what does necrotic grips currently have over that? Because it's probably not going to be as strong of a boost. Damaging combatants, okay. Provides a moderate, okay. Might just go from the necrotic grips. But also, I'm really in the, like, these both also interact with melee. Recharge quicker on hits. The Seeker spawn from cold snap grenades travels further. Temporary gain increased melee grenade regen after your super ends. Do I go for necrotic or not? Okay, what else do we have? Well, super picking up without granting a bonus damage. No thanks. Improved melee damage when you're surrounded. Goddamn, it's almost as if that is the exact thing I'm looking for. Yeah, okay, so we want Syntheseps, and then either Inmost Light or Necrotic, probably. That is what I'm gambling on. So, hold on. I'm going to switch these two around. Move you down real quick. There we go. So we either have necrotic grips or we have the exotic class item. And the exotic class item would be... I don't really love how passionate you are about this. You always try to gather knowledge and put so much effort in it. Even though I don't really know what's happening, it's pretty fun to watch you care so much. Do you want me to give you a short rundown of what's happening? Because I could probably explain to you what I'm doing in a pretty dumb way. Like, dumb it down. It's chill, I have a vague idea. Okay, cool. Thanks. I want to be able to do that. Cool. So for the exotic class item, I think I guaranteed one Syntheseps. Slot. So this is slot 2 Synthos. Because we're doing something with melee. Then here we go for Assassin if you need more survivability. Or you go for Inmost Light or Necrotic. Inmost Light, if I find out that I do not have enough ability recharge rate on my melee. Otherwise, Necrotic is probably going to be the best idea to take care of tankier targets that remain. And then I think I'm mostly going to have to rely on weapons for most single target damage. But I could see this work. Then, what I want to do real quick is I'm going to make this a little different color so I have a nice little separator. What I want to do now is we're going to do this a little differently, where we take the other weapon loadout and we try to do something with Devour, which is Buried Bloodline, and then I don't know, we'll figure this out in a bit. Probably going to be an Edge Transit again. So, I don't know, some kind of power weapon. So, I'll leave this blank for now. Always go with Burst Glide. I know, oh. Dude, I just wanna put a bunch of... I don't wanna do maths. I wanna put like a temporary thing in there, thank you. Burst Glide. And then, okay. So, we're going to want to do something with Buried Bloodline and Feed the Void. So we're taking Vortex Grenade. We're taking Vortex Grenade from this because it triggers Feed the Void. Vortex Grenade's pretty okay, if not overcharged from Chaos Accelerant. I'm going to have a rough time with this, because almost all my playtime, as of the last 2 seasons, has either been on some kind of cookie-ass Geomags Warlock, or on Controverse, which is... yeah, that's just Vortex Grenade overcharging. So, Feed the Void. Combine that with Vortex Grenade, probably Nova Bomb Cataclysm? We could be pretty tanky. We can be pretty tanky if we take the Orb of Power grants Overshield, which is purpose. Then, additionally, we're not doing anything with Stasis Crystals or Solar Ignitions, I think. We have a grenade, we have one of these, we have another slot. We don't have a melee yet. I'm probably just gonna do Burst Glide. Do I do Phoenix Dive? Phoenix Dive is really good, but is it gonna be worth it? Would I prefer to have a Rift? I think I'm going to go for Phoenix Dive. Just because casting a Rift takes too long, and I'm lazy. So mark this as 2. Then, if I have Phoenix Dive, will I be able to generate any Void Breaches? Because Void Breaches would be great. Because that means I can recharge Phoenix Dive and I can go into Helion if I want to. Also, what melee do I want? So, I'm taking Cataclysm, so I have additional Void. Taking Vortex, because I don't want to rely purely on Vortex, and, what's it called? Buried Bloodline? I need to get a Catalyst for that still, actually. We might just do a run in just a moment. Try running that dungeon. Solo. Oh, that's gonna be horrendous. I still need the tinctures. I still need to get these tinctures. Where is it? I still need to get these. Oh god, there's more steps to it? Ah, yikes. Yeah, we'll go get some tinctures in just a moment. Yeah, I might just go Helion again. I'm just kind of interested in what Helion's gonna do, honestly. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Where is it? Helion. Shoots at enemies. Okay. I mean, it's pretty cool. With Phoenix Dive, it'll be fair. It'll be fair enough. Last 20 seconds. Yeah, I'm probably using Feed the Void. Helion, really interested in that. And then, do I need some form of additional crowd control? Like, what am I planning to do? So I've buried Bloodline, Midnight Coup. I would like a little more crowd control, but I don't know if Penumbral Blast is going to be online enough. Because if we take a quick look, right? So, Pocket Singularity, 1 minute 31. Chain Lightning, 1 minute 31. Arcane Needle, 1 minute 31. Incinerator Snap, 1 minute 23. Penumbral Blast, 1 minute 41. I mean, it's not that bad. I'm kind of interested. Also because it freezes and then freeze into shatter is pretty good. I might just take Penumbral Blast. You know what, fuck it. Let it cook. And then Helion again. And then we still need some fragments. And we need some form of exotic armor. I'm gonna want to do something for Because I think I can clear crowds well enough with this. I might want something for single target of sorts. Fragments. So we have purpose for the overshield, which is pretty good. Then we have... I mean, I could do Transcendence. I have Penumbral Blast, Darkness, Light. I have a lot of Kinetic. Double Light. This is another Light. It's mostly Light. Do I want to use Midnight Coup, or do I want to use something else for crowd control? Is Kinetic slot minus is exotic is primary, and then preferably, okay, what do I have that's not kinetic? And that's PvE. Hot damn. Fucking nothing. I mean, maybe Appentance can work. I don't want to fully rely on this. Maybe I take Arcane Needle. Well, this is tough. Is there a dark subclass? Is there a dark damage weapon primary that I can craft right now that I don't have yet? It's probably gonna be kind of ass, but I mean, it's worth a shot. Worth taking a look at. How's it going? I'm not doing too bad, Judge. We are theory crafting the second warlock build. We're gonna do probably 3 and then move to a different class and then call it like after doing those 2 classes, call the night. Like doing the other classes. Perpetualis is dark damage. I don't have Rufus, but isn't Rufus oh god. Oh god. I mean, it has hatchling. Target lock's pretty okay. Demolitionist is alright, but this is nothing. Ew. Hell no, that's not happening. Raconteur? What do you have to offer? Shoot to loot is pretty okay. Stats roll is pretty alright too. Archer's tempo is pretty decent. Headstone could work. Kept confidence. What do you have? You have stats for all. Next weapon. Could potentially do a syncopation. Different times might work too. Okay, so what does different times have? This is a rapid fire frame with subsistence hatchling. Subsistence hatchling. Also has stats for all. And then syncopation, what do you have? Outlaw Frenzy. I mean, I like syncopation, but I like it in PvP. I like the good old Zen moment head seeker roll, because it's really annoying to fight. I think it's going to have to be different times if I don't want to go for the Midnight Coup. at different times. Probably gonna go stats for all hatchling. Stats for all hatchling. So the reason for this is purely because I want to be able to deal darkness damage, non-kinetic. And then, I mean, the fact that I have Vortex and Nova Bomb is gonna have to be the way it is. What else do I have? Nope. Nope. I think I threw away my only Michaels. Maybe Rapacious. Perpetual Motion Headseeker, maybe? If this had stats for all, it'd be great. It only has one for all. An aggressive frames kick is legendary. I have a kill clip, keep away immortal. What, did I not keep any? Did I really not keep any PvE immortal rolls? I mean, I have this Unending Tempest, and I have this Judgment. Could work. It's either this or coping with independence. But at that point, I would need to be armor charging it up. Because it can get the likes of Demolitionist, Overflow, Slideways. It has Killing Tally, One for All, Headstone. It's got pretty decent perks. But I don't know if this is it. With the Bloodline, probably a wise idea if I can. Do I have some force? Okay, so PvE. Preferably, I would have some kind of dimensional hypertrichoid. I mean, it could work. I just left the Enclave. I need to go back. Do I? Could just check from here. Patterns and catalysts. Nope. Nope. All light damage. Semiotition is technically darkness damage. Don't care about swords. I need to finish some of these. Like this, for example. Maybe Fourth Horseman, too. I have Fourth Horseman? Huh. Alright. Might have to be a dimensional hypertrichoid. Either that or I just use a Cold Comfort, I guess. Cold Comfort could compensate. I'm still a very big fan of the Midnight Coup idea, though. I need an actual good I also don't really have any solo weapons. I have Apex, and that's it, because this is a shit roll. Alright, I'll go grab water already. Forgot to do that. I'll be back. Actually, I left my bottle downstairs. I can't go walk. I can't be going around the house right now. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna refund that. I legit cannot be going around the house. Because everyone's trying to sleep. Except for me. Is it ever worth taking Arcane Needle over Penumbral? Penumbral is nice, but Arcane Needle has 3 charges and more range. And generally, I think Arcane Needle is the best Warlock melee. Outside of the... I gotta say, making Lotus and builds is one of the funniest shit you can do on board. Well, I'm mostly preparing for Tuesday. Tuesday, Destiny 2 the Final Shape releases, which is when all this tomfoolery is coming out. So we have purpose. Otherwise, I'd be putting this together in game itself. While you have an elemental buff, your class ability regenerates more quickly. So we probably want hope. Because we don't necessarily want to be outside of Devour. Yeah, so tomorrow I'm streaming Pokemon with Bara, and then from Tuesday to Saturday I'll be streaming Destiny 2 every single evening. Because of the new expansion. Damaging targets with kinetic grants you, but defeating targets with your super... Okay, so, hold on. How is this going to work with Transcendence? Are they ever explaining how Transcendence works? Because if so... Okay, break past your limits right here. Transcendence. Control, okay, prismatic, okay. Yeah, do you light aligned, dark aligned? Kinetic damage fill, the rate when... Kinetic damage fills both bars at reduced rate, but at a rate. But that rate increases when either bar is filled, making it... Okay, so... It's just gonna be Midnight Coup. Because, kinetic weapons will charge both the light and the dark transcendence bar, right here. But what that reads is, once one is full, that generated energy that would have gone to this one will instead go to this one. So that means kinetic weapons are going to be really good well, they're already really good. You'd expect a weapon without type synergies to be less good than weapons with, but holy fuck, kinetic weapons absolutely kick ass. Alright, so then Facet of Grace would not be a bad option. Especially also because we're going to be using the super, hopefully, quite a bit. Foil Grenades weaken. Arc Grenades Jolt. Dominance could be an option. Make you Radiant. Dawn, I think, is always going to be good. Okay, so this gives volatile rounds to your void weapons. Is that going to be effective? Because I don't have a strand weapon. I think I'm going to pass out on bravery. Rapidly defeating targets with dark damage grants grenade energy. Okay, so we're probably going for Dawn. And then I think this is it. Then for the exotic. Okay, so we have Devour. We're going to be plinking away at enemies from a distance. Keeping ourselves alive, giving ourselves overshield. Is there any synergy we can do with this? We have Void Kills, increase ability regen, so Nezarec Sin might be interesting. Energy weapon kills boost grenade damage. I don't necessarily want that because I'm running the bloodline for Devour. No traces. This is ineffective, that isn't ineffective. Sanguine's not going to be a thing because we're using Phoenix Dive. Transversive steps could work, but they don't necessarily provide a PvE boost. Geomags are useless. We have no air dodge. Gonna replay this track real quick as it's coming. Gain super energy on elemental weapon takedowns. Nope. Technically, chromatic fire, I think, does spread. Let me check. Does this spread volatile or weaken? Yeah, it's weaken. No thanks then. I mean, it might be the best option. So let's write it down as a first of, and then for the exotic class item that I would be contemplating running on this. Alright, let's check this out. So, Inmost Light is never going to be bad. Grenade, recharge quicker on hits. Osmiomancy could be really good. If it can repeatedly be triggered by Vortex. Like, if it can be repeatedly triggered by Vortex, then I'm going to be very happy, because I want to be putting things inside of a Vortex anyway, because I want to be proccing Devour. While your super energy is full, this might actually be worth it, Star Reader. Verity could be interesting, but I'm not sure I want it, because Bloodline is like... Okay, so Bloodline gives Devour, and after I get the Catalyst, also weakens targets. However, I want to use the grenade mostly for getting Devour. Maybe for some crowd control. It'll be fine with that. Okay, so grenades recharge from empowered weapon damage with empowered weapon fund blows granting more energy. Does this empowered weapon damage... Does this mean empowering rift? Or does this mean surged weapons? Spirit of the Claw could be pretty decent with Penumbral. So... This could be... Okay, so I'm still on Penumbral. Probably just gonna go Star Eater. Yeah, I'm wondering right now. let's quickly check the community notes on Starfire Protocol. So this says, while in an empowering rift or well of radiance. Alright, I think it's just gonna be this. Then, one last thing. We want to make something with the equipment that is available off the bat when we go into prismatic, right? So we can see that equipment. I might as well just. I thought I had this open twice. Oh, I do. So for Warlock, we have access to Nova Bomb and Winter's Wrath. Winter's Wrath is really cool, but is a little disappointing. So we're gonna go for Nova Bomb. Again. Then we have access to Feed the Void and Bleak Watcher, so we don't get any choice. I'm going to combine this with Cold Snap. With Cold Snap grenades. Is that a good idea? Because what I'm thinking is I just throw Osmiomancy gloves on. Which buff specifically... They specifically buff... Here we go, yeah. They specifically buff Cold Snap grenades. So, Cold Snap grenades it is. For the melee... I'm wondering if I ever go Pocket Singularity to trigger Feed the Void. I might do it. Osmomancy gloves. We'll figure something out right here. This is always going to be Burst Glide. Phoenix Dive again? Doesn't sound too bad. And yeah, I mean, Feed the Void is purely like do something with void damage and win. I might take Pocket Singularity then. Because it's void ability Final Blows. Grand Devour. And like Devour is good enough that you want it. I'll be very honest with you. Devour is good enough. So, then for the weapons, we have a shit ton of crowd control because we have we have Osmiomancy gloves. What else can I expect? Deconstruct, I think, does bonus damage to Stasis Crystal, but doesn't do bonus damage to frozen targets. Let's take a look at what's in here. So I imagine we're going to be playing in mid-range. However, technically, I expect Bungie to make us busted enough that we can be up close. Usually I would take Aegis Scepter on Stasis Osmiomancy Lock, because the Catalyst allows you to consume your mediocre super. However, now the super is pretty decent, so I'm contemplating not doing that. I wonder how many darkness kills we're gonna get, because we have so much frozen stuff. I might whip out the Le Monarque for the fun of it. Just for the fun of it. Because it also does a whole bunch of DOT. It's generally pretty alright. Either that, or I take... actually... No, we're gonna cook. We're gonna cook. Okay, so the colony is getting buffed. And I'm really hoping this is going to be pretty alright when you chuck it into a crowd of frozen enemies. God, that's such a bad idea. Oh, that's such a horrible idea. I want to do it. I want to do it so that I want to get the colony. I want to use the colony. It'll be so funny. Okay, so we have a significant amount of crowd control in the osmiomancy. Do we want quick shatter? I can get, let's see, redirection, damaging rank and file combatants, increases damage against more powerful ones. This also works against vehicle. D2 clarity combatants. Okay, too bad. Construct vehicle. One turret and placement. Deconstruct. Alright, so this is mostly good against major boss of vehicles. This roll's pretty I thought it was better. But I do have Kill Clip Unrelenting, and I also have Adrenaline Junkie Demolitionist, which quite the tempting rolls, honestly. So if I'm taking Colony, I mean, I'm gonna need some form of single target. And didn't I have dominance? So this, I get to weaken targets. I was thinking maybe this Rosaraga with repulsor brace is going to be okay. Let me take a look. Do I have some kind of single target PvE with like primary weapon? Probably not. Something that could chunk away at a distance. Otherwise I would have probably taken like Outbreak. Because Outbreak is not bad. It's really good actually. Colony is so funny, but I have the feeling I should try Colony with something else. And instead, I'm very tempted to take... You see, I'm very tempted to either take Outbreak or to take Le Monarque. Le Monarque. If I take Outbreak, I'm probably going with like one of these two harsh languages, or where is it? This forbearance roll. So Outbreak, Waveframe GL, or Mana, Waveframe GL. Now they're nerfing waveframes, which is a shame, right? They're nerfing waveframes. However, I have a roll here with Blast Radius. And I have another roll here with Blast Radius and Blast Radius. And Blast Radius is going to become the best masterwork on waveframes. Because what they're doing is they are taking... Basically, this 100 value is going to become the new 50. And the length, width, and... I think it's mostly length and width of the... like basically how far the wave goes and the size of it is now determined by the Blast Radius stat. Which makes Blast Radius the best masterwork on waveframes. And I so happen to have gotten very lucky. Now, I'm considering New Pacific Epitaph, because I haven't ran this thing in a while. Do I actually have... I have Velocity on this. My favorite one was this, which, I mean, it has reload speed, which isn't great, but it's something. I could technically go for Slice. I thought I had a Slice run. Oh, Slice. Slice. Oh, is that in the same slot as... Ah, that's in the same slot as Slideways. Any Masterworks? Any Blast Radius? No. Okay. Yeah, I think it's gonna have to be New Pacific Epitaph. Probably the kill clip unrelenting one, even though adrenaline demo is very interesting. Because it means we can pump out more void grenades. So, new Pacific demo junkie. Or we have, I mean, harsh language is pretty decent. I'm wondering, so do I go for a stasis power weapon? So we have osmiomancies. If I do monarch, or if I could always just do this again. This is a pretty comfy loadout. It's additional devour. So if I go with this, I have this void. I have the feeling I just get to get away with cold comfort or with edge transit, because I've got good rolls on both. Or I can do this. Or I take Midnight Coup with Buried Bloodline to proc better devour. That's what I'm thinking. And then I don't want to write an exotic class out into this, just because we're still looking at like default starting equipment. So I want to be able to equip this as soon as I start the campaign. And like probably go in this with stasis equipped, because that means before I get prismatic, I have a decent osmiomancy build. And I don't know, we can just set this up. Outbreak on osmiomancy, I'd be damn down to run that, but I'm also really interested in running Pacific Epitaph again, because I really like that weapon. Alright, so rapidly defeating targets with dark damage grants grenade energy. Probably a decent idea to grab Faceted Balance, because we're going to be shattering a whole bunch of targets. And otherwise, I mean, Pocket Singularity does apply Volatile, which is a minor amount of additional... Yeah, I'm really tempted to say, okay, Pocket Singularity is probably not good enough. That is legit probably not good enough to go for. It does such little damage, and it's just there for Feed the Void. Then yet again, otherwise I would be like entirely Stasis Warlock, which, I mean, Stasis Warlock is good, but I want Stasis Warlock with Devour. So we're gonna do that. Grant volatile rounds to your void weapons. Bravery sounds interesting, but we're not necessarily. I don't know if we're killing targets with grenades. We're freezing with grenades and then blowing them up. Facet of Dawn is always good. Oh, of course we can't do balance because we don't have that yet. So we have Dawn, which is Radiance. We have Hope. Okay, Hope is pretty good. Protection's also pretty good. Purpose. This will give Overshield, which is pretty alright. And, okay, yeah, Ruin is great. Ruin is probably the best thing in here, because we want to freeze and shatter. Alright. I think that's gonna be it for Warlock for now. I mean, you can see here, I'm a pretty big fan of Feed the Void. Helion seems really interesting, especially with Phoenix Dive. Alright. so let's move to the likes of, what do we do first? Titan or Hunter? Probably best for me to not touch Hunter, because I don't know what Hunter does. And I also don't really know what Titan does, but I know Titan a little better. Could also just wait with this until the expansion releases, because now I have 3 Warlock builds at the ready that I'm going to go save real quick. There we go. I mean, yeah, I don't really know what I could do with all this yet. I'm not that experienced with these classes. I think I'm gonna just stick to this. I know some that I'm probably going to want to make, what is it, Nighthawk sniper build for raid. I want to update my Void Titan. What else? What else could you cook with this? We have the stylish glaive Triton build. That could be really interesting. What else? I mean, Arc Bolt, Swarm, kind of not a big fan of these. Magnetic Grenade, maybe. I'm never gonna pick Snare Bomb. Combination Blow, I mean, you don't have the Arc Hunter aspects that you want for Liar's Handshake. So that build's probably not gonna get touched. What's this? Consecration with Frenzied Blade, probably going to be pretty decent. I've heard my friends say run Pyrogales with this. You could also do Thunderclap. Something with Thunderclap, like Shackle Thunderclap. I'm a pretty big fan of the idea of Blade Fury, because I like that super. But I wonder if there's any synergies with it. They're buffing Knockout, there's Drenga's Lash. Drenga's Lash with Abeyant Leaps. I mean, you can just go Suspend Titan, but have access to the likes of Consecration. Then again, you don't have Into the Fray. Is that good? I don't know what opportunities I could be seeing here, because I just don't know enough about Titan. I don't even remember half the things some of these things do. I've never used Consecration before, not used Knockout, not used Diamond Lance. Used a little bit of Drenga's Lash, and I forgot what Unbreakable read and how it's gonna work. Oops. And with Hunter, I mean, I don't know what Gunpowder... I somewhat know what Gunpowder Gamble does. Winter Shroud, maybe. Threaded Spectre, try to fuck around with it. This is, melee's weaken and defeating void debuff targets makes you invisible? I think that's it. It might also just be a good idea for me to go to bed, because it's currently past 12. Like, I like cooking, right? But there is a limit to how much I should cook. And I think it'd actually be wisest to stop cooking here. Even though I didn't cook that hard. So, something, saying goodbye for the night. I'll be back tomorrow with Pokemon. I'm gonna go rest a bit. And I mean, it's cool stuff. It's definitely some cool stuff. I don't know what the stat modifiers are going to be for the fragments. Probably... I closed the tabs already, can't look back. Alright, that's going to be it. I'm going to